Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are still continuing the Intigriti 1337UP CTF challenges, and we are going to see the third web challenge, that is Smarty Pants. So this one has surprisingly less solves compared to other ones, considering this one is not that difficult. So for this one we have the challenge file. So let's download the challenge file first, and we'll look at the website as well. So first let's move the challenge file, Smarty. So I just moved my challenge file here. So what is the move command? Move command is the I have a alias which move command, which basically just moving the argument that we are passing. In this case it's the file name to the current directory from my downloads directory. That's it. So we have the file. I have to just make a folder, Smarty. Okay, I will just make something like this, which what is Jadu. Jadu is also an alias. If I do this, then you can see it's just taking the string input and it's replacing all the space characters with the underscore character. So these two are some handy things for CTF solutions for me. So I will just move the Smarty zip file to the folder. I'll just cd into the folder and I'll just tar extract it. So we have all the files. I'll just make a folder challenge and I will just move everything to the challenge folder, and I will just move the Smarty tar file here. Okay, I will just so we have a docker compose file. I will just open it in Sublime Text. Yeah, so this is the win challenge folder, and this is the start script, which I think the Docker container is using. So I will just set the syntax to bash. I will just so we can see it has it using a PHP image, and it's installing some PHP configurations, and it's using the Smarty plugin for PHP, and it's just copy the file and everything to the root directory and exposing the port 80, and it's starting the start command. So basically I think it's just setting up the container and everything for the challenge. And we have two files, the index.tpl. so .tpl means it's a templating file, and first thing comes in our mind when we see a template in a CTF channel, that is server side template injection, or sometimes client side template injection, that is SSTI and CSTI respectively. And we have a fake flag, and we have the index.php file. So we have only one source file, you can say, and we have the docker compose file. So basically it's just starting, it's just for setting up the challenge locally. I will just send it to 1337 so that I can just go to the local host and play with the challenge. So first what I will showcase is that how can I just build the challenge locally. So I will just do docker compose. So for some system it's like this docker compose, and if you have docker desktop installed, then you can, I think you can just do this docker compose. See, so I'm just doing the docker compose binary like this, up -d with means detached. So it will just create the container. It took it was relatively fast because I have already built the image earlier. So you can see I have already built the image 2 days ago. That's why it was so fast. And if I just go to the localhost 1337, I can see the same file as here. So you can just test it locally like this, and if you just if you want to close the docker image, you can just do it docker ps, and you can just take the tab image container id, or you can just do docker kill, and if you press tab, you can see you can just close the image like this. So you can do docker ps. So that was it. I will just create a run.sh file so you guys can play around with it easily. So I will just edit a shebang line, then I will just do docker compose up -d, and okay, I will have to, yeah, I think docker compose up should create the docker compose build docker compose. Okay, yeah, so I will up build with t. So basically what it will do is that it will, if the image is not there, the docker container is not there, it will first build and then it will try to run it. So this script you can just do run.sh and you can just play with the script locally. Okay, I did something wrong. I don't think, okay, I think this one should work. See, so I will just kill it for now. I don't have anything running, so let's keep that aside and see the main challenge file. So we have the index.php file, and we first have, if it's if we send a get request with the source parameter, then it will highlight the file. So if I do view source, the get request with the source parameter, then see this is the same file, we can just see the source file. And else we have this regex expression. So the best way to understand is that you can just play around with in regexer or regex 101, or you can just give it to ChatGPT, it will explain the whole thing to you. So you can just play around with the regex and you can yeah, I think it's PHP 7.3 greater than 7.3. So what we can do is that we cannot use any JavaScript tag. So there is a Smarty version as well, so we can just check what is PHP Smarty. And let's close, that's it for now. So you can see Smarty is a templating engine. You can see the release page, and to check for the version, this is the latest version 4.3.4, and so this our application is using the latest version. And if you search PHP Smarty vulnerabilities, then there's nothing much you can see other than just a basic SSTI. So what you can do is that you can try to search in payload of all things. So basically you can just Google it, SSTI, then all of these results are all same. People just copied everything from these payloads of all things, and they just created their own blogs. I don't know why they did that. So all of the results, they have the same data. So you can just follow hat tricks and you can search for Smarty. So these are the things, payload that is, but I think you cannot use that anymore because it's deprecated. And let's try to input that. So if we do this, we can see that malicious input detected. So let's look at the source code first. So this is are the main initialization of the Smarty plugin and everything, Smarty templating engine. So if we are sending a post request with data, then this function, the check data, will trigger, and if not, then it will just display the index.main TPL file, the main index file. And if we are sending post data, then it will going to check the pre-grep, I think it's called pre-grep, I don't know what it's called properly. So this function is, PHP has this function. So I remember I think I have used some exploit, I think some payload to exploit its upper bound check or something. I can't remember exactly, it was long ago, but I think there is a vulnerability related to this thing as well. But I was able to bypass this regex pattern. So let's look at this. Let's focus on this part. So if this thing passes, then yeah, so if this thing passes, then we are going to continue the execution here. If not, then this program will terminate here with the message malicious input detected. So say we just send something like ABCD, then we can see that it will pass, and we will sorry for that, we will get the output of the what we have already inputted, but the endpoint is same. And if we just try to go there, refresh the page, see it's already there. So if we just send anything, if this check is false, then we will continue the execution, and it will just open a temporary file and write whatever the contents we have already sent with the post data into the file, and then it will just display the file, and then in the end it will unlink the file. So what we can do is that if we can just craft a payload to read whatever the local files that are on the machine, then hopefully we can read the flag in that way. Or if we can just try to see we can whether we can just execute some arbitrary commands using the server-side template injection vulnerability. So let's see how we can do that, because if we do this one is not going to pass, because the regex pattern is checking plus means any character other than any number of occurrence more than 0, then dot means any character, then star means any number of character any number of times occurrence, then this. So basically what we are doing this, if we do this, then this pattern is true, then we are not going to do that. We can try, we cannot use JavaScript pattern, we cannot use any kind of space, because this /s plus means any kind of space characters. I believe we cannot do that. We can just check it here, see this one is invalid, then we can try to do this as well. And if we remove this one is also not going to happen, because if I remove this this whole part inside the parenthesis, this is going to this is going to get caught by the regex as well. So it took me some time. It took me, you can say, more than 3 hours to figure out how to bypass this regex, because it was pretty complex. So in the end what happened is that you can bypass this by doing a simple thing, that is you can add a new line, and that's it. This is going to get executed like this. So if I just copy this thing and send it here, so I will be able to execute arbitrary commands. And I think you can do this as well. I'm not sure what's the new line character URL encode new line. It was something yeah, so it was 0a. okay, it has to be something like this. I'm not sure exactly. Bypass by new line. We already had our payload. We can just do this and it will execute, but I'm trying to showcase another way, because say there is another challenge, and the challenge is and the application is stripping all of the new lines from the payload, then this payload is not going to work. So I'm trying to figure out the another way to do that. I think I just can't remember exactly what was the payload. think I want to say like this, nope, I will just have to dig around. URL encode. It's this thing, why it's not working. Okay, I don't know why it's not working. Okay, if you guys can figure out what is the correct way to send this thing, do let me know in the comments. And for now I'm sticking with this payload. So this is it, and what we can do is that we know the flag will be in the root directory. We can just do this, and so we can just list all everything in the root directory. And for hacking sake, I will just try to see the etc password file. Okay, shadow. Okay, so it's a PHP container. It's makes sense that there is no such file like this, so I will just stick with the basics and try to get the flag. So this is our flag, so that's it. We can try to write a get flag script for fun, as we always do in this channel. So let's try to get a get flag script for this. Get our shebang line, Python 3 URL from requests import only get, and then we can do is that get URL, then sorry, we don't need get, we need post. Okay, we need get as well. We will do this, and we will need the payload. Payload should be like this. Okay, let's hope this works, and let's see burp suite with the actual request. Okay, I will just see it here in the networks tab. What's the actual request look like? Okay, yeah, so there should be a return carriage. Yeah, okay, I think I missed that. There should be a return carriage. How do you define return carriage? Return carriage in URL encode. Okay, I think this should work. This payload should work. If not, then I don't know. Okay, this also doesn't work. Okay, no problem. Let's stick with the current solution we have. I'll just send it again and try to see the raw data. Alright, I will just copy the whole thing because it works. Okay, so we are just sending a post request to the main URL like this, and I think it's data equals payload. Let's try to see. Post is not defined. My bad. Okay. Why is that? JSON. Actually, I'm not sure why it's not working. It should work, but okay, so I'm not going to waste many more of your time. If I make it work, then I will add it to the repo. Stay tuned for the repo. And yeah, that was pretty much it for this challenge. It was just basic server side template injection with just with the filter bypass and everything. So regex 101 comes in handy every time I see a complex regex and I try to understand that. You can see it's explained everything about all of the regex and everything. So do check this one out. And Hatrix has the ultimate payload, and all of the other websites, all of them are just copying the Hatrix. So that's it for the challenge. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.